All right. How do we make high quality connections or communications at our workplace? We sometimes call it vibe. We enter a workplace, that workplace is dull, that workplace is backstabbing, and we know that place is toxic. And why some places are full of energy, some places are so loving and employees are so willing to stay there longer. That is because the connection has some very fundamental differences. And what is a high quality connection? The connections that make each individual in this organization or in this party feel engaged, open, motivated, and revitalized. This is the key. Not to be braggadocious, I feel like this group, we are high quality connections. Even though a lot of us do not talk to each other on a daily basis, but here, at least in this group, every week, we feel engaged, we feel open, we feel motivated, and we feel revitalized, right? So that is to debunk the myth that high quality communication or high quality connections has to be close or intimate relationships only, not necessarily. You don't need to be like 10 years of friendship. You don't need to have like very intimate time spent together. No, not really. So the benefits, it's pretty self-explanatory for high quality connections. There's health benefits, there's engagement, people feel connected, and you can learn from each other. We all know that in a toxic environment, in the toxic working environment, there are days we just want to call in sick. There are days we just cannot get up. We are just going to Google how to call my boss, how to make up an excuse not to show up at work, right? At least that was my case in the past. And engagement, we'll explain it a little later. There's psychological and physical health. And sometimes if you're in a toxic environment, just thinking about work, thinking about that environment makes you feel nauseous. That is why in America, Sunday evening, right around 8 p.m. and Monday morning, right around 7 o'clock, has the highest stroke and heart attack. There's a data for that because people are bona fide stressful about going to work on Monday. And emotions and vitality, that the negative emotion that actually shuts down your immune system and you're thinking about, I'm getting sick, and you really feel sick. And that is bad. But I don't know whether you have experienced an environment like that. You generally tend to forget what day it is. And you don't care whether this is a 21st of a month or 18th of the month. Every day is the same thing. And you are so vitalized and you are emotional charged. And that place just make you want to get up early and want to go there. And you don't feel like hungry and you don't feel like tired at all. That kind of environment, that kind of a state is perfect. I experienced that firsthand my last year in high school. Now I realized that I was in that vortex, that I found the purpose. So my physical, psychological, physical health, emotional, everything was aligned. But the next 15, 20 years, I was out of that vortex. I was not able to find that zone again, not until I quit my job and started my own business. So I'm very happy that right now I'm experiencing this again. But I would like to share with you, even if you're not quitting your job, even if you're not start your own business, how do you stay in that zone as if this is the best thing ever? Religious speaking, from Christianity side, kingdom of God is in your heart. This is exactly heaven on earth. And daily emotional fluctuations and three basic needs: autonomy, just like Daniel Pink just shared, autonomy. You have nobody micromanaging you. You are not inundated with hundreds and thousands of emails. You do not get conflict emails or instructions. You can do your own thing, even in your own department, and competence. And you feel totally qualified, totally competent to do your job. And engagement. In that environment, you feel confident to share with others and give support, just like Robin mentioned earlier. Why on a Sunday or on a Saturday, a weekend, people are willing to sacrifice their 2 hours or 3 hours, go to the public beach, collecting garbage. And after that activity, you don't feel like deprived. You actually feel joy. It's because supporting others, helping others altruistically without any motives, without any hidden motives, actually make you feel very good. And that is also explains why those billionaires, they spend a lot of time and their money doing charity and philanthropy work, because that's truly joyful. And when we are in the survival mode, we're in the constant stress. Our chemistry inside our body is totally not healthy. But if we have that good environment, actually our productivity will be turbocharged. And learning, this is another part. In a good environment, high quality connections, high quality communications, it will instigate curiosity and joy of learning and grow. I think one of the best example, at least in the past, was Google. Google, the founding fathers, okay, Sergey Brin and Larry Page, in the very beginning, they built the company based on the sole principle of flow. So they asked a lot of experts in the industry to build that working environment to induce learning, to induce curiosity, to induce flow. That's why, right now it's not a big a deal, but back then you can bring your own kids, you can bring your dogs, you can lay on the sofa, and you can play pool, whatever. Those are the flow-inducing environment and the learning environment. And as a human being, we have an innate desire to think and act creatively. We have to build things. We have to solve problems. This is our inner drive when we're in the so quote unquote vortex. When we're not in the building and thinking and creatively, we are in that boredom and idleness, and we will feel very, very depressed and we feel deprived. Again, this is the tried and true flow. A lot of times we need to look at our challenges and abilities. Whether our challenges are too great, too much, so we're in an anxiety zone, worry zone, or our challenges are too little in relation to our abilities, so we're in the boredom zone, even in an apathy zone. This is the goal. Evaluate our challenge and ability at all time, just like your steering wheel. You don't just check your steering wheel 10 minutes before, you check your steering wheel every minute. That's the gauge that you measure your work, you measure your progress. So consequences of poor quality connections, a lot of times we'll feel unappreciated and also undervalued and anxiety. You don't feel like you're an valuable asset to the company, and maybe the company think the same thing, right? You feel like you are more qualified than your job requires. And high quality connections, there are three things that we wanted to focus. Respectful engagement. Respectful. We truly want to engage with others, even though you and this person are not friends, even though you and this people do not know each other very well. Still respectful engage. Be it working together, collaborate together. Another thing is task enabling. Why kids can build up that friendship so easily? Because kids are always playing. They're playing games. In games, you have to set teams, you have to set sides, you have to collaborate, you have to work together. Even like a Squid Game, right? You have to have team A, team B, you have to collaborate with each other. You have to work together. And that's task enabling. And that working together will generate a lot of camaraderie. Will generate a lot of common shared experience. That is very good. And also trust. Trust. You trust this person, even though I do not know you, but I trust you. Trust you first. In the diplomatic policy, there's a tick for tack. First, you treat everybody nice without any reservation, unless the other one do it opposite, then you can retaliate. This is a tick for tack. In some of the countries that has the lowest happiness index, like Moldova, the former Soviet Union country, they use the opposite. They first do not trust anyone. They defend, they retaliate first. So they end up like very low trust, and they always in defense mode. And that is very toxic. So when we are in an environment, be it at work, be it in a small group, you want to be present. That's why show up is number one. You want to give people your attention. Let them know their thoughts, ideas, and opinions matter. Be a good listener. Make eye contact. That's why we said, even in the Zoom meeting, a lot of us are doing very well. We turn on our camera whenever we can and make eye contact as if this is a real live communication, because this really matters. Imagine everybody is turning off their camera, everybody is looking at their phone, and that's not respectful engagement. Granted, this person has to know how to engage the audience, of course. If this person did not know how to engage their audience, that's his fault, his or her fault. And active listening. Listening is such an important skill that we take for granted. A lot of people, they are just waiting for their turns. They're not really acknowledge the other people's feelings. They're not really confirm their understanding. They keep cutting you off and talk over you, and that's not good behavior. It's painful to be around with a person like that, right? And punctuality. Not only should good manners and professionalism, also should you respect other people's time. We want to be on time when we are asked. That simple thing could give us good credit, to give others a feeling that, okay, you do care about me and you do respect me. You do honor this relationship. And authenticity. This is a very precious resource nowadays because a lot of people are just putting on masks. They just hide behind their screen, hide behind their avatar. They do not talk their true feelings because people believe that show your authenticity means expose your vulnerability. And we actually talk about this. Not expose, but share your vulnerability strategically is actually very empowering for both sides. In the conversation or in the communication, you wanted to affirm how much you value the team members, how much you value your colleagues. Always give them credit first. For example, I really appreciate you being in this team. Everybody appreciate the kind words like that. And also encouragement goes a long way. Maybe just a one kind word, you can make this person feel like heaven the whole day. But criticism could make this person hold grudges maybe for the remainder of the tenure, right? And communicating. In a lot of culture, I hate to say that in the Chinese culture, especially modern China, because our unique history, atheist, Darwinism have been the dominant philosophy. So people tend to be not the giver, more of a receiver. So request and demand, when you are willing to give, you can have more credibility and people will respect you more. And also positive language, clarity. If you're making a demand to your team member, to your friends, to your boss, just tell this person exactly what you need and what is needed. We mentioned this a couple of times before, like the format, COIVed. Current situation, this is what I'm facing, this is what we are facing right now, the challenge, right? And obstacles. And this is the road bump that we're facing right now. And I is the ideal situation. Okay, what is the ideal picture? And then V is the vehicle. The vehicle is through your help. Maybe your team can help us. That is the solution. That is more, maybe we need some money, we need some more manpower, whatnot, right? And D is a deliverable. And then we can reach this goal. Then we can deliver. Then everybody's happy. And that is a very specific format, very good framework. And task enabling is coaching. Even if we're not the boss, we can still help each other, coaching other people, because we're like commandos in the team, right? Some people are technology expert. Some people are financial experts. Some people are human resource. You have your unique strength and you wanted to coach other people to be engaged with the solutions they have come up with. Not necessarily always be led asking for instructions. You can be a coaching position. A coach doesn't mean that you know better than them. Coach simply means you are there to support them. You can give them some clarity, asking them better questions so they are able to find that truth by themselves. And facilitating, that is another important thing. Task enabling, always enable your team, enable others, help other people understand and navigate structure and organization by providing them access to the right people. For example, if you're in the team, If you are the financial person in this department and there's a IT person, they have no clue what inner working of your financial department, right? And you can be the go-to person. Hey, I can help you to find the right person. I will direct you to the correct source. That is facilitating. This could build you good network in the organization. And also be accommodating, open door policies. Some people's leadership style is still authoritative. Closed door, I'm not accessible. I'm VIP. You have to make appointment. But some people are more like, my door is always open. You can always come to me. And I have flexible working hours. Even though I have boundaries, but I have set a time for you. And colleagues can still also accommodate each other's changing workloads to help everyone succeed. Because like I said, politics is everywhere. Office politics everywhere. But we can reframe the politics as we try to reach the goal together. So our end goal, our final destination is the same. And nurturing, be a role model. We sometimes always look at other people's shortcomings, but we wanted to first be a role model. Am I punctual? Am I always present? Am I a good listener? Am I always willing to give, right? And also, we do not criticize. We give constructive feedback like SHIT sandwich and support and compassion. Empathetic. Empathetic is so important. There's lots of strategies. There's all kinds of framework and model and all that. But without human emotional level empathy and understanding, they're not going to work. And trust, mutual sharing of something important or valuable. What is important and valuable? Human emotion, human relationships. If you find a hard navigating the office politics or hard talking to another colleague, find the common ground. If you're a woman, maybe this woman is also a mom. There's got to be something you guys have in common, right? And that could really make your colleagues feel much appreciated and the trust will be built and gained. And also self-disclosure. This is another thing about vulnerability. Sometimes we do not necessarily have to build that perfect image. We wanted to share the vulnerabilities, to share the true authenticity to our team members. That way we could help build a better connection. That way you can lose that quote unquote perfect, iconic avatar. If you're a boss, share with your colleagues, share with the people that working for you. Hey, I do not know what's going on right now. I'm just as clueless as you, but I promise as your leader, we will figure out a way together. That vulnerability is empowering. And language, use we versus I. I is egocentric. Oh, me. Everybody cares about me. But we're on the same boat. And your actions matches your words. Your actions and the words that you use actually sell out who you really are as a person. That's why we audit our words. We audit our vocabulary. We audit how we say things. A supporting person, a supporting leader, empowering leader always use we. And delegating. Trust and task enabling is to delegate. Some people, they do not trust their colleagues or members. They hold on to it. That actually will make your team members feel like you do not trust them. You can actually handling some of the responsibilities to your team members. That is a clear sign that you trust them. And feedback. Asking feedback from team members demonstrates that you value their points of view. So we wanted to get to the core of the situation, get to the core. Hey, what do you think of this situation? Do you have any candid opinion and how can I solve this situation? How can you help me to improve? That's why using our course, for example, a lot of you did a perfect job in your book report and in your TED Talk challenge. Still, we wanted to roast each other, right? Because that feedback could really help each other. High quality connections energize you and the people you work with and improve your health and well-being, increase your engagement with others and stimulating your desire to learn and grow. And most importantly, we wanted to be that change agent. We always had that fallacy, okay, my next job is better, my next spouse is better, my next opportunity is better. Actually, not necessarily. So we take our accountability to change, starting from our own behavior, starting from our own word choices, and gradually you are going to change the microcosm of that environment. It works every single time. So we cannot wait for others to change. Always start from ourselves. It will change. And supportive work environment is like this, respectful engagement. Everybody's like so fun, lots of positive engagement. People are really like family. There's this documentary about the last true blimp. It talks about the department working for Goodyear. They are the pilot, the ground crew, the transportation team, about 30-some people supporting this airship, supporting this blimp. They've been together for decades. They all treat each other like a family. And that airboat is embarrassingly ancient. It has lots of ancient mechanism. So they all have their own tasks and they're working on their post and they trust each other with their lives and was respectful. I'm very jealous of the environment. That is a very good environment to be with. And that will lead to happy people and more potential could be discovered, can be released, can be unleashed. And obviously the productivity will be on the turbo drive. Okay. Thank you.